testing for our store listing graphics, so mostly around the app icon, and that gave us a result of which icon had more conversions, and then we selected the icon with higher conversions.
That's great. And are you planning to change it? Do you think that will be your description will stay the same? Do you think your users are moving from what they used to be to something new altogether, or you feel that that's watertight for now?
After today's session, I want to set up some A/B tests for the app description. It would be interesting to measure which keywords perform better than others.
And if you use the keywords, where did you get the keywords from?
So obviously doing thinking about what our users are looking for, and then looking at services like the Google Trends to understand what South Africans are searching for. That's sort of the main way we're going to derive keywords.
Okay. And did you do any competitors search around what they're using?
Not yet, but thank you for mentioning that. We will.
That's great. Yeah, no, absolutely. Always check what others are doing with the keywords, because surely if their keywords are working very well, you might have to use such keywords as well, somewhere in your description. Yeah. Let's have a look at the comments in the chat box. So Lisa said that the tackle is travel hawk South Africa safety. That's good. So description: stay safe in South Africa. Get real time. Oops, it moves. Get real time. Whoa. It moved all the way to the. Okay, just give me a sec. I will find it again. Yeah, there we go. It says get real time crime alerts and community safety map. That's a full description. Important disclaimer. Yeah, you have to put the disclaimer so that they don't think you're a SAPS, right? Oh, there we go. Yeah, you put the disclaimer. That's great. This app does not represent a government entity. Explore. So then you start with the first few lines of the long description. It says, explore South Africa with confidence. Travel Hawk is your personal safety companion and travel navigator, giving you 10 by 10 directions, location, aware safety insights, official crime data, and community source safety reports to help you travel smarter. I like that. That's really that's catchy. Yeah, so that's really catchy. First few lines. That's great. Key features. Your bullet point. I will say that probably the key features needs to be summarized slightly a bit too long. They're all saying good things, but if I have to read the first key feature, everything's in the chat box, guys. If you want to see it, if I have to read that, that's going to be too long. I'll try to shorten it a bit. I think across the board, but I like the fact that you have used bullet point and a heading. So I think how many characteristics you've used there? I'm sure you used about 4,000. Can you tell us how many characters you've used there? You also cited, I think you muted, if you can unmute. You also cited government source. There was a data source, which is great. Yeah, I mean, this is really great. It just needs a bit to be shortened.
I used around 3,000 characters.
Yeah,
I think it was to the disclaimer, because my app kept getting rejected because of the disclaimer. So I had to put it on the top and on the bottom of the description.
Yeah. The disclaimer is fine. My suggestion is around the future. I think you should try to shorten it. Yes, probably AI can also help you, as much as I said that you still need to apply human touch. you could just shorten the description. But obviously, it's important that you don't lose the essence of these features, because I'm suggesting the shortening of those. I think the other place that took a lot of space is around the data source, which is important because you want to highlight exactly where you're getting all this data from, which is important, because that's a huge validation. So I'm happy with that. It's just probably the features. If you could bring this to 2000, that would be great. And what are your keywords here? How many keywords do you have?
I haven't counted them.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that in your advice and try updating the description.
Yeah, obviously it's already here. It just needs to be. I can tell it's already here. It just needs to be like Scrum alert, safety alert, preview one, which is important. Yeah, but if as long as for Google Play, it's fine. They will be able to extract the keywords from your entire long description. But for other stores, because you have to pick them and slot them in the specific field, you might have to start that exercise. It's also important, obviously, to know them, even if they're on Google Play, even if Google Play will automatically find those keywords for you. But it's also important to also know what they are. So what is Darren has also an example here. He has, in terms of the fixtures, he's got the headings and the bullet points as well, which is great. Darren, how many characters do you have here? He also has a disclaimer, which is important. I think, Darren, you're less than 1,000, isn't it? Darren? If you're talking, you're muted. All right. But,
I'm about 1,600 characters.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're on. Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah. So I think below 2,000 is fine, but again, to not do 2,000 just for the sake of trying to be 2,000, and then you lose the essence of what your unique value propositions are within these app features. So it's all about creating a balance sometimes. So you know what you need to do. So that's really this. Let's look at another activity in terms of how to enhance the visual assets. So I will just go through these and discuss them. You don't need to do this activity. So there are many places where you could find these assets. Some of the assets around in terms of the photos. If you could buy some of these photos. You could use Unsplash. You could use Canva as some of the photos as well. You could also take photos of your own, which is important to help you be able to have a unique photo. So I always prefer, when it comes to these kind of assets, in terms of visual assets, to create them yourself and own them, because the worst thing that you want to have is to have one stock photo that you put on your app and your competitors also using the same photo that they bought online. So how unique value proposition will then appear. Even though you write it, you don't look unique anymore, because it's almost like you're copycating your competitors. So I will encourage that in terms of the photos. Try to really create those photos yourself. If you're looking for the icons, you can look at Font Awesome. They can craft. You could tell the story. They will craft an icon for you. Flexicon as well, the icon, so, and as well as the noun project. So all of these, let me see if I can find a way of giving you all these resources, but I think they should be listed at the end of these slides. So these are the areas where you could get your app photos as well as the icons. Canva is really probably the easiest one, because you can use it for free, and you get the best of the features on Canva for free. So I will say that as a starting point, probably try to interact with Canva to see how far it can take you at a startup level. So I've used Canva quite a number of times, and it's really been great. So actually, for my business, we use Canva for all our presentation preparations. So So have a look there. So let's look at these discussions now in terms of the keywords and research and integration. Let me go back. These are the tools that are available for you to use if you want to do research. So Google Ads, they've got the keyword planner that you could use. What it does there is that it does identify popular search terms relating to your app features. So basically what you do, you put all your app features, and it's going to tell you which popular search terms are happening. So this is not gimmick, this is real stuff. Basically, it tells you online people are searching for this kind of stuff. And this kind of stuff is related to your app features. Obviously, you've got to make sure how far that the distance is to be able to make sure at least those search terms are not that far away from the features. They're more closer. If they are closer, then I don't see any reason why you can't incorporate those search terms as keywords into your long descriptions. And probably even your title, if you feel that that is important. Look at Mukuru, transfer money. Those are actually keywords that forms part of Mukuru's app. So please have a look at the Google Ads keyword planner. It's available. You could use it free of charge. Another tool that I believe can make a huge difference in researching these keywords, seeing what your competitors are doing as well, it's the keyword tool. It's more of an IO, so it's a free tool that generates keyword suggestions based on the topic. So you'll put a topic, in this case, probably say, you put a topic of 2 or 3 of your key unique value proposition that forms your key features, and then it will suggest these are the keywords that you could use. The good thing is that you could use both Google Ads keyword planner and get those words, and then go to keyword tool and see how relevant and how closer those keywords are by comparing them with what the keyword tool will generate as keywords. So you're cross-referencing what the other platform is doing or a tool against another platform, so that you take those keywords while they've already been validated across different platforms. So do not just take the keywords as one platform suggests. You must verify them and check them across different ecosystems. So the Sensor Tower, it's another example which is so important to utilize. Basically, what the Sensor Tower, it's an Apple App Store optimization tool. So what it does, it's unfortunately paid, but what it does is that it details insight into app-specific search terms. But it is a paid one. But Google Play, it's really good because what it does, it gives you, you type a few terms related to your app into the Google Play store search bar, and you will see different suggestions, which is important. Good thing is that you could also type your competitors' few terms relating to your competitors. Then you will see the keywords that they've used, which is important because you also want to know what others are doing and how you could better them. So here's an activity, last activity for the day. It's about integrating your keywords in your listing, all right? So I will give you about 2 minutes to think about the keywords. You don't need to be correct. Think about the keyword that you truly believe that if it's in your description, it will definitely, let's say 3, those 3 keywords will definitely make a huge difference in your app. So we've used Mukuru. The keyword is transfer money. So if you've got a budget app or a finance app, you probably will have budget tracker as a keyword, money manager as a keyword. So let's hear what you have. I'll give you 2 minutes to think about 3 keywords that you truly believe should be in your app listing description. You can also drop me your thinking in the chat box. So there was a question asked about the previous cohort, and the question was, how long should the keyword be? Can it be a long sentence? And the answer is no, the keyword are shorter. So that's why they're called keywords. So they must always at least be at least one or two characters, because they're keywords, all right? Once it becomes a long one, it's no longer a keyword, it's a sentence. So keywords are shorter and quicker and easy to pick from the description. Anyone wants to go and tell us which keywords they think? Okay, Darren has keywords. Yeah. Let me read them. Let's start with Silas. Silas says my driver, designated driver service. That's absolutely spot on. Darren says football predictions. Yes. AI football analysis and match insights. If this helps the users to be able to place bets on sporting bets, you might need to also look at that, because that's an extension of the benefit of using your app, is that they can use all that they have learned in your app to be able to predict sport betting precisely with an intention. Let's look at another example from so for me, I think navigation, hijack and save route. Yeah, that's good. I will say that if this is about crime alert, there's nothing wrong to use words that are keywords that are already in your sort of like a description of your business or a title. So safety, yes. Navigation, safe route, yeah, does make a lot of sense. Crime in South Africa. Some of the keywords are they can appear so irrelevant to what your business is all about. But when people search them, they then see you as a solution. Does that make sense? So for instance, if the keyword is crime stats in South Africa, one will then say, well, if a product, an app is available that help a traveler to be able to understand crime stats in South Africa much better in a more informed way, if that product sits next to that search, those keywords, I can see a conversion there. I can see the person going and check this app. So some of the keywords are not really so direct to your app business as such. Could be something that they search. In this case, for instance, with Darren, let's look at Darren's business. All right. If someone is looking at sports betting in South Africa, and then Darren's app pops up, there's more likely going to be a conversion, because it's an enabler. It's one of the enablers within the ecosystem. So when you look at the keywords, look at the ecosystem as a whole, and that ecosystem will tell you exactly where different keywords are well placed. And some of the keywords may totally have nothing to do with the features of your product, with the description of your product per se, but having that key feature does sort of recruit people that are looking for what is the crime stats in South Africa. Suddenly this crime app pops up. That's just definitely a market fit in terms of key search, of keywords settings. Let's have a look at other examples here. Vokeni, it's SME growth engine. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I can really see that you guys are getting these keywords right. That's really, really important. So remember, 2 to 3 keywords does make a huge difference. Obviously, you've got an advantage with Google Play, because with Google Play, they go and extract the keywords from your long description, which is important. So let's go through the 2-3 more slides and bring this to an end. This is more really about presenting your app for feedback. This is really about you guys presenting and we all can discuss. So let's have a look at the activity itself. This activity is actually bringing in everything that you've done since yesterday, from value proposition all the way to key changes and the keyword integration. So I will give you guys, we still have a bit of time, I'll give you guys about 2 to 3 minutes, or maybe we can make this a take-home activity. I think this makes sense. So what you need to do here, and I'm happy to, as we continue tomorrow, to also look at this in details, is that you need to then sit down and write down everything that has to do with your app. What is this app all about? All the key features. Write all of that down. Rank these key features to see exactly which one should be on top. Right. Then draw up the unique value proposition to make sure what is so unique about all of this. You could still draw unique UVP from the features themselves. So the one that is so unique, I suggest you push them out. All right. Because that's where really your differentiator is. Why? Because if someone is looking for an app or an app for search, it means the person is not well taken care of the product that already exists or the app that already exists. That person is looking for something that will fill in the gap. So your unique value proposition must push all those features that are unique right there on top. So you've got all that pictures, all right? So highlight the updates you might need to make in relation to your description of the app, the title of the app, and the visual. So do not be scared to even change the name or extend the name, because at the end of the day, it's not how cool your name looks like or sounds like or appears like. It's about business. You want to make money out of this initiative. So if you have to extend your name by adding things, Mukuru, transfer money, I can tell you right now, probably they don't like seeing transfer money. They would have just stick with the Mukuru because it sounds so cool. It's unique, it's different, all right? It's so African, but they had to put transfer money, which is important. So keywords integration, while you look at all of that picture, all right, highlight the words in your descriptions where you feel they can be keywords. Okay, so you're starting with that. You then highlight even 10. When you highlight the 10 keywords that you believe are keywords, try to reduce that. Force yourself to reduce that to 3. You can reduce them to 5 first, and then reduce them to 3. Once you have 3, that process of reducing to 3, interact with different tools, platforms, Google Keywords Planner, to see how strong those keywords are. You're not just ranking them and reducing them based on gut feelings. You're feeding data from different platforms that we share here today. That helps to understand. So if you're moving from 10 to 5, why did you remove the other 5? Then you should be able to say, because according to Keyword Planner, Google Analytics, this and that platform, these keywords, they might be so good, but they're not as popular as they should be. So therefore, they're not going to drive users to my app. So the 5 seems to be ranked higher. Then you do exactly the same exercise to reduce 5 to 3. Then you take the best out of the 10 words. And these 3 words are validated by different platforms, an entire ecosystem, competitors as well. And you could be able to actually go to the markets with certainty that this is going to do very well. So that's what I will say the activity be. And I'm happy tomorrow in between, we'll slot in a quick presentation from the entrepreneurs just to share what they've done. We'll find a slot within the content tomorrow to give 2-3 minutes to do that presentation. And from my side, that's all that I have today. And sorry about the power issues. And thank you, Irene,